Aloha. Welcome. Welcome, caregivers. Welcome to the Caring Caregiver Show. I'm your host, Savvy, the founder of Give Me a Break. It's a nonprofit organization that's caring for caregivers, and we're here to bring back the joy of caregiving. Each week, we help caregivers to survive, and you can check us out on our website and gab808.org right there on the screen, gab808.org, and get more information there. You can also go on when you're on our website, caregivers, go ahead and click on a support request and put in there what support you're looking for, fill that form out, and not only will you be able to get the help, potentially get the help that we can connect you with. We can connect you with the resource that you might need. And don't worry if you're not in Hawaii. We've found resources in every state. So let us know what your needs are. Tell us your story. We'll do the best we can. We'll get back to you usually within 48 hours. And also that kind of puts you on our list to get our newsletter. Now, don't worry, it only comes 4 times a year. That's it. You're only going to get 4 emails from us. You're not going to get any more than that. So that way you can keep abreast of what's going on, as far as advocacy, events, resources, whatever you might need, all in one little sheet. So fill that out and connect with a community that you need. Right. I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. And, we are here for you. And also, another way we do that is we offer you a break. So you can get a break right there every week, every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, of course. And there we go. And we have our support sessions. And in our support sessions, it's not, we're not a bunch of professionals. This is just your safe space. This is an opportunity for you to connect with a community of caregivers just like you. We don't do big groups. We do a small group. If the group gets too large, I'll split off and have other sessions. So don't worry. You don't have to worry about being in a big crowded Zoom room where you don't have a voice. We're here to listen and we're here to educate with you. So join us every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. And that's on Zoom. And all you have to do is type in that meeting ID right there, 808-754-3787. Oh, do you see some connection there, folks? The bottom of the screen, you can see our information. That's right. That's the same phone number you can text when you need us as well. Okay. So we're right there. Join us. Join a community of caregivers just like you. Now, the Caring Caregiver Show is brought to you by Give Me a Break. And it is sponsored by Giver's Guides. Now, Giver's Guides is a caregiver's guide to caregiving. It's written for caregivers by caregivers. It's an online magazine. It's exclusively for you from your point of view. And this month is currently National Nutrition Month. So with National Nutrition Month, we're trying to show caregivers how you can still try to be up on your nutritional wellness without having to go on these fad diets or, stock the refrigerator with all kinds of things either you can't afford or don't have time to eat anyway. So hopefully you'll get this issue. You'll see ways to practice your nutritional wellness in little steps, one step at a time, ways to help yourself. Find a way that you can practice that, because remember the statistic, here we go, right? What's the percent? 50% of caregivers do not survive the one they're caring for. That's not good. We have to change that. So we have to practice nutrition in some way or form. There's an article in this magazine that's going to help you do that. In fact, here's kind of a little sneaky peeky at some of the articles that you'll be able to read. I like the one, especially too, that talks about the pro and con of some of the popular diets. Yeah, and she analyzed, Dennett analyzes all of those for you and does a side-by-side comparison. So saves you the trouble, and you can decide if those even can work for you with all of your lovely caregiving duties that we have. It's a constant in life, right, for us as caregivers. All right, I am clicking away here trying to keep up with myself. So subscribe to the magazine. Those profits all come to Give Me a Break. Just go to giversguides.com and you can help us. All right. So we will help a caregiver and you'll help us to keep going. And there we go. Now I can do it. Okay. So with that, I bring to you, speaking of moments, I'm going to bring you a mindful moment And let me just double check. Was that you, Sharon? Yes, it was Sharon that joined us. I'm going to click her in the room. And hi, Sharon. How are you? Yay. You're here.
How are you all? So good to
I'm
be here. Thank you
wonderful.
for having me.
And it's, I owe you and everyone the biggest apology because she was sitting there in the waiting room of the wrong show and I had sent her the wrong link and I was so apologetic. So she was here with us last week and it's my fault. So I'm so sorry, but we're so happy to have you here this week. And Sharon is with Quantum. Where's my notes? Don't want to get this wrong, right? Quantum Radiant. No, let me get it right. Radiant Quantum Healing. That's it. I'm going to just remember RQH. That's going to help me. I know those wonderful little letters that we have. Oh, sorry. Dementia moment. Okay. And we're good. So this is fun. I'm working off of a laptop. All right. And she's here to do our meditative moment. Now, the whole thing is that we want to practice these in moments because Sharon, you and I both know, being caregivers, we don't have a lot of time. And so instead we say we don't have time, so we don't do it. Well, Sharon's here to show you how you can have the time and that you can still have a meditative moment. So I'm going to turn everything over to you. Thank you so much, Sharon.
Thank you, Savvy. Thank you for the opportunity. Okay, so today I'm going to actually switch gears a little bit. I want to talk to you all about something a little bit different than what I normally talk about. We're going to talk about nutrition today, about nourishing ourselves as caregivers. I know that we're really used to giving so much of ourselves. We give our time, our energy, our love, and I know that when things get really hectic, we can forget about the importance of properly nourishing ourselves. We can't pour from a cup that's empty. We have to fill our cups first. And when we're running on fumes, it's not just our bodies that suffer. Our patience wears thin. Our emotions feel heavier, and suddenly things just start to feel a whole lot harder. And when we skip meals and rely on caffeine or sugar to get us through the day, we're really operating from borrowed energy. And over time, this can take a toll on us, and not just physically, but emotionally as well. Blood sugar crashes can also lead to irritability and exhaustion, and the nutrient deficiencies can contribute to anxiety, brain fog, and it's just so many more symptoms. And I know when we're constantly tending to others, it's easy to grab whatever is quick and convenient, like processed foods. But this usually leaves us feeling depleted and sluggish instead of energized. And, really, it's just not that good for us. So that's why I wanted to take some time today to talk about nutrition, but not complicated meal plans, not hours of cooking, but instead what I find to be the easiest and most effective way to fuel my mind and my body is through smoothies and whole real foods, because true nourishment doesn't have to be complicated. So why complicate things when life is already so complex? I personally believe the ultimate fast food is whole fresh foods. I know that when we hear the term fast food, we think of drive-throughs, vending machines, grabbing whatever is within arm's reach, a bag of chips, but nature gave us the original fast food, and that's fruit, greens, nuts, seeds. They require little to no prep. They're packed with nutrients that your body actually needs and craves. And I understand going through a drive-through or grabbing a bag of chips feels so much easier in the moment, but what's just as easy as grabbing a banana or grabbing an apple, a handful of almonds. And the difference is one choice really fuels you, the other is just not that good for your health. So here's a small shift we can take the next time you head out the door. Take some fruit with you, grab some bananas, grab some tangerines, or we call them clementines. They require little preparation. Really, those require no preparation, and it's so easy to do. Also, smoothies. They're a great way to get a full spectrum of nutrition in a single glass. In just a few minutes, you can blend together whole living foods that provide essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. And a smoothie can be super simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can throw some bananas in there, spinach, some frozen berries, whatever fruit you have on hand. And if you've ever bought too many bananas and don't know what to do with them, if they get overly ripe, what I like to do, this is just a quick tip, don't throw the bananas away, just peel them and put them in a little baggie and freeze them. Use them for smoothies because they make the smoothies so creamy and naturally sweet. And smoothies consisting of fruits and greens are I don't see them as just drinks. You know, they are fuel. They give your body and mind the foundation it needs to handle stress and the demands of caregiving with more ease and resilience because our brains really need glucose. And glucose that's found in fruit, it's the best glucose for our body. It allows us to function optimally when we're stressed. And these glucose reserves really get depleted when we are going through very stressful times. So it's so important to replenish that. And when we nourish ourselves with whole, vibrant foods, we're giving our bodies exactly what it needs to function optimally. And smoothies in particular provide us with a powerful blend of macronutrients, even protein and carbohydrates, along with micronutrients that support everything from brain function to gut health. So if you're worried about not getting enough protein, I personally don't think you need expensive protein powders. I use spirulina, which is a powerhouse of plant-based protein. It has a full spectrum of amino acid profile. And, you know, or you could just toss in handfuls of spinach. I don't know if any of you remember Popeye, you know, Popeye the Sailor Man, the old cartoon from the 80s. He was onto something with like the copious amounts of spinach he would eat. Something else that's incredible about smoothies is you can customize it to your liking. So use whatever you have on hand. And if you start to incorporate more fruits into your diet, I think you'll notice that these foods that are full of life are also helping you feel more alive. And when we take just a few moments to really feed ourselves with intention, we send a message to ourselves that we're worthy of care too. And I think that's so important. So the next time you feel rushed or overwhelmed, just take a pause and instead of skipping a meal or grabbing a processed snack, blend a smoothie or grab an apple, grab a banana or a handful of nuts. Your body and your mind and your spirit will thank you. And because you take the time to care for yourselves in these small ways by properly nourishing yourself, you'll be able to show up for those you love in a better way. And I really appreciate you guys all listening. If anybody out there needs any tips on smoothies or quick meal ideas, please feel free to reach out to me. I love, you know, coming up with quick meal options. I'm a mom of 3 plus 2 furry babies. Things are busy, and if you're looking for ideas, just reach out. I'd love to help.
Oh, I love that, Sharon. Thank you so much. You guys can call Sharon 312-810-0361. Right on the screen there for those of you who are watching. For those of you who are watching later, it's also there. And if you're listening on podcast, again, 312-810-0361. Thank you so much. You know, I thought about what you said too, and I love the fact that we're in a day and time where you can actually walk into any grocer and you can get a smoothie already made now, and they come
Yeah.
in bottles. You know, in my day, you had to have this big old blender thing, you know, and it wasn't like even the nice small blenders they have now. You know, you could have a portable blender. You had to have this whole big glass thing, and you had to put everything in, and you know, and make a smoothie, and it took forever. But you can make the different choices, you know, and I think also, if you want fast food, you want to drive through, turn your refrigerator into a drive through window. And
Yeah.
instead of putting all of those foods at the bottom in the drawer, put them right at eye level. And
Mhm.
and don't buy the foods you shouldn't eat. Buy the foods you should, and you won't have to make. That's what I try to do, right? So
Mhm.
instead of buying that bag of chips, I buy a thing of grapes, and then I wash it and I put it in my fridge. And whenever I want something, I grab some grapes instead of eating on chips. So it's a lifestyle change, but it can be done.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard when you have a lot going on, but you're a mom of 3 and you've got 2 fur babies. Hey, if Sharon can do it, you guys, so can we. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
I
you're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Yes.
Yeah,
Well, we'll
it was
see you next
helpful.
week. It'll be your
Yeah.
final one for the season, and it'll be our finale. So I'll be looking forward to it. Thank you again for everything you do in your
Yeah.
kind heart.
Thank you so much, Savvy.
All right.
Bye.
Aloha. See, I love doing this. And you know, I know it seems a little unreasonable, caregivers. I know you're out there. I know you're stressed. I know you're on budgets, but you can do it. Just substitute something good instead of having the things you shouldn't, right? And when you go shopping, pick up a bag of raisins instead of a bag of, you know what? Snickers. Yeah, I'm not supposed to say name brands. You know those chocolate bars, the little ones you think so you take one, just one and eat it. Yeah. You can eat a box of raisins and it'll help. And in the long run, your taste buds will change and eventually you'll get healthier. And you're trying to survive this journey. So in order to survive the journey, you need to do something that's going to help you to survive. All right. Whew, that is amazing. I can't wait till next week. I'm really excited. And I'm feeling good about my nutrition this month because I really have made a concerted effort to change the way I'm eating. And, I think that when you do that, it helps because we have so much on our plate. We're trying to juggle so many different things. We got all these different appointments. We've got duties. We've got everything we're trying to juggle. So when your nutrition's kind of under control, then you can think about all the other things that you're trying to control and trying to keep under. Oh, just take care of everything. So I brought somebody on today who's going to help you with that part of it. Right. And this is the creators and co-founders of Watch Our Own. And it's a great app. It's the first all-in-one phone app with custom-built technology that's going to streamline all the things caregiving. It's going to streamline groups of people, tasks, so much more. It's the perfect thing for family caregivers or anyone that's just going through any kind of caregiving that you're doing. Trust me, it's all in one place. Please welcome to my show today, Giancarlo and his wonderful wife, Sherry Sims, the co-founder of Watch Our Own. Aloha to you both. I'm so excited to have you here.
Same to you.
Yeah, we're very excited to be here.
We're pumped up with all the energy in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it great? I know. And
Really cool.
I can't. There you are. There's your banner. I am my own IT person, so I'm constantly scrambling around this screen looking for everything.
And you mentioned that 50% of caregivers get ill or sick or don't even make it. Look what just happened with Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa. Same thing. She was taking care of him, and then she couldn't even get her own help.
And that's the thing, right? It's so funny because if a caregiver does even survive, and so the other 50% that survive, and we don't talk about this enough, they end up with all kinds of illnesses. Their immune systems are low, and some will pass shortly after. Or, of course, if they do survive, they're constantly dealing with health issues. And we've met many, many caregivers like that. And we don't want to be there. We still have a life to lead beyond caregiving. So I think they need your app. But tell us your story and how your caregiving story led you to where you are today.
Okay.
All right. And Giancarlo, you and I get along very well. And I think that we're all kindred spirits, you and your wife. And I know that you can talk, but I'm not giving you an hour. So
I know.
She's laughing.
We already agreed. If you see me disappear from the chair, that means I wasn't paying attention to the signals. So it's not.
You gotta tell people. I love it. No, please. I'm so happy to have you here. Share your story.
I'm also half Spaniard and half Italian, so I can go really, really fast too. So you may not want that. But I was a CTO in New York, and it was a 2-hour commute, and that's when my mom got sick. And when that happened, I had to pretty much try to make the commute. We had 2 boys. One of them had asthma, so you have to watch all the medicines they're taking. They had their all the regular workouts, the football, baseball season, all that. Then we just have a little baby girl. And my mom gets sick, so we're running around, and I'm the primary caregiver, even though I had 2 brothers and a cousin that should have been there. Were right there. They didn't do anything. So I became the caregiver like everybody else experiences. You're it. You got the badge of whatever that means. And
whether you want to or not, you are now the designated caregiver. Yes.
I swear not a single time anybody ever said, "Hey, can we help?" They just expect you to reach out. And if you did, they had something else planned. Poor Sherry was trying to see if she could help. She was taking all the load with the rest of the family, but she couldn't really help me with this. Well, I was still running around with some of the other issues. And it's you're looking at 3-4 different apps. None of them integrate, and none of them are free. They're all expensive. And so you have to leave that job. Like even one of our old friends, Eddie, who literally just left his job, and now he's just taking care of his mom. He's doing this today. I've known this man for 35 years. And it's the same thing. So we wonder, okay, I built Vonage, built all these healthy companies. Why not build something that I could have used? We built it with the mindset that we want to build this everything using open source tools, very secure. I built banking systems, police systems. So I'm a freak when it comes to security. And we built it with that mindset that it should scale out like a bank system, but it should be as secure as a PCI compliant environment. That said, we have one environment that's free, and we're adding additional features to it. We just rolled out 24/7 monitoring of a location of your person in case. Before it was only during the event and only when you wanted it. Now it's 24/7. It was going to be a charged a service. Now it's free. We have we're looking to subsidize this cost that we're providing free to all caregivers, because honestly they can't afford to pay for 40-50 bucks a month when they can't afford their own cup of coffee or have to cancel their own gym membership. I went from working out as a gym rat to not working out at all. So you have to be realistic. If you want to provide something, it has to be for them. Our government should be subsidizing people like you, Kathy, who we just met. It should be really subsidizing her. And this is something that they should be doing, but we're going for the B2B to help us subsidize that for companies that are at-home caregivers that don't have these services. So we have everything built in there.
So your app, if I'm getting this right, so not only does it help to organize whatever tasks you have, but now you're saying that it can also literally watch.
Yeah, we have.
So how does that work?
Well, we built a patented event engine. So having spent 5 years in police systems and both my boys in emergency systems, we built a crisis management system that has a patent on it, and that's already been approved. The patent engine allows that you can set up tasks for somebody like medicine vitals or location. If you mark them as critical and they're not completing the time they need to be completed. Let's say, for instance, your mom may have a really high insulin requirements and she doesn't take her insulin. She goes into what do you call it? Shock.
Yeah.
Right. And that's crisis enough for you to generate an event. That event.
Yeah.
Now you go to the event, which you see everybody's location, everybody who's in your group. So it starts by first selecting the people in your group that you trust, and then from there you have roles. You're the caregiver of that person, but you can assign tasks for that person. Share information in the event engine. You can call people, communicate through a private chat conversations. We had a one-way video. We've turned that now into a multi-user video using our own video engine, which is secure. So you're not using Google or worry about, well, who's watching us. It's just our own video engine. We don't share that data with anybody. We don't share we made a rule that all your personal data is your own. We don't make any money out of it.
And so if mom, has a crisis, the app alerts you and every other potential family member.
Correct.
And so the closest person can actually respond.
Yes, you can actually see if you're sharing, for instance, if the three of us are related and we have a mom and we see there's a fall detection, or we see that her heart rate has changed if she has a smartwatch and we can track it. One of the things we're putting in for all those features with Vitals is the ability to put a threshold. Well, one threshold for a caregiver is a warning, the other threshold to create an event. So maybe you as a caregiver, you don't mind the false alarms. You want to be able to stay with mom and say, hey, are you okay? I saw this happen. But what if one of them is a bad blood pressure, and then you get a fall detection alert on the phone? Now, when you go to the event, if she's sharing her location, not only do you see her, but everybody who you're connected to, even if they're not in the event, which allows you then through the event, inside the event, call them directly and say, hey, listen, I think mom's problem. You're 2 blocks away. Can you get in there? I'm on my way, but at least somebody will be there. Think out of the pocket, like what would you want to do? You can look at things like, for instance, what if your daughter's just nervous and just wants you to watch her? So she starts an event, and then you can look for nearby police, fire departments, or emergency units that she can go to where you can meet her, or her car breaks down. You just want to know where they are, and you want to be able to see it on a map and then get a location and go to it. So we put all those features into it. You can set up all the tasks. You can do fall detection. You can do all that. I mean, it's pretty interesting because now we've built an AI model to be your personal assistant. And so even though you can generate tasks in the task, the point is for you to start seeing how your group is working. Also, one of the biggest problems that we have today is that when somebody comes in to take care of somebody, they don't have any medical information. Both my boys who get to a site, and when they get to go if we see that the pulse is low or the blood pressure is low, we think they're crashing, we start pumping them immediately. What if that's normal? You have no way for you to see this. So we've created so we have a 911 portal so that if they connect to it immediately and you allow them that access, they can see everything about your mom. What medicines are they on? What's normal blood pressure for her? So they don't over medicate. And 200,000 people die every year from being provided the wrong medication. So the numbers are staggering, and most of it is just lack of information or easy access to it, or lack of to share it. So we want to make sure that everybody can use this, and our goal is to just keep providing it for free.
You really kind of thought of everything too, which is great. You thought of every possible scenario. And then with the addition of AI, that kind of makes it easier to set up too, right? Because, not a lot of people, like me, I'll get my phone and then it takes me an hour just to learn the app. But with yours, you could actually use that AI to set things up. Am I correct?
Yeah, a different approach. So for instance, like when you're selecting the medication and you put a medication for someone, you can ask the AI, what are the long-term effects of this medication? Which is most of the time, they don't even tell you. So there's a couple of things that, for instance, we were taking and we go, wow, this eats all the magnesium in your system. And all the doctors we ever went through never told us so the AI model will do the deep research for you and literally say, well, this is short-term, long-term things you should watch out for. And then also we have part of the AI model to duplicate the ANA model of nursing. So when you walk into a doctor's office, they take your blood pressure, your height, your weight, oxygenation, all those things. We have that information, so the system's able to pull from there and then see, well, based on that, what should this person be doing, right? And then it generates tasks that you, as human in the middle, you can accept or deny. You can generate those tasks, literally make those tasks active, and delegate them to the people in your group. So, hey, you should go for a walk every day, and you should do these things, and you should change your diet, and you can start literally generating tasks. Can you buy mom some greens and just generate those tasks out to your group to build that community that you just can't afford to do on your own.
Yeah. And I like that it connects the families, because it's so easy for the families to get disjointed. But at this point, they're informed enough that they can see where they can, because some
Right.
families, will avoid it because they're just so busy, or other families are so busy they don't think about it. But
Right.
this puts that thought there so that they can then go, oh, wow, I didn't realize mom needed that, or I didn't realize that you needed that. Okay, I can do this. And they can jump in now and make it part of what they do. So I love that. The fact that it communicates with everyone.
Even in the event, we put in what normally happens during a real event crisis in police and fire departments. Say, for instance, you're a stage 1 fire, you get there, you can start working on the fire. The lieutenant gets there, he takes over, and then you have to give him a knowledge transfer. So we built it into the system. If you're the caretaker for mom, Savvy, and we're just your brothers and sisters, Sherry answered it first. So she's the caretaker in charge. She's handling this. Everybody can connect. When they log in, they see everything she's done so far, the chats, what happened. We literally paint that out
in real time.
Before they ask a question, read, just catch up. Don't sit there and go, what happened? And then likewise, that you come into the event, the system recognizes that you're the official caregiver for mom and says, hey, you're the caregiver. Do you want to take over? And if you select yes, as you normally would, I would get a message say, hey, Savvy's taking over, and you would take over. And you would do everything from that point on, and we're watching. And then you can delegate tasks for us to help mom, and you do this, John. You meet her there. I'm going to drive over whatever you need to do from that crisis and management system.
I think that really relieves a lot of worry too, right?
Yeah.
Because then you kind of take the stress out of the situation. So the situation's still stressful, but you're taking that stress of communication out, right? And connection. And also, I think that opens it up to more people being available. And that's a big one, right? Because when you're not there and what you don't know, you're not involved. But if you're aware, then you can be involved. And that really takes a lot of the pressure off the main caregiver to have to do everything.
100%. Case in point, look at her mom was a nurse, and she was like a little angel. She passed us about 11 years ago. And but it's you see all the horrors you hear from caregiving, where some people who should be caregivers show up. You have no idea if they're really doing the medication. You can assign them the task. They have to follow it to the T based on what you're telling them you want. And you can look at it and you get notifications to the caregiver that this hasn't been done yet, or this is past due, and you can stay on top of them. That's the kind of stuff that's also part of the service that we're going to be providing to the B2B. So they have a lot of these systems and people walking into your home with a piece of paper instead of a service. So we want to offset our cost from there to keep providing it to the end users essentially for free for as long as we can.
Yeah. That's amazing that you're doing that as well. Sherry, I know you're being very nice and wonderful and supportive and quiet. Is there anything you want to add? You want to add something? Come on. I know I see your elbow going, but final thoughts.
Yeah, no, I'm just really excited that we've been able to create something that I hope will, we hope it's helpful. because, one of the key things that I like about it is, like you said, connecting people, and not just traditional families, right? Because in this day,
Right.
like it could be your neighbor that's really involved, or, can you check on mom? And, you have that network, that social network.
Her own friends.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
friends, your family,
Yeah.
wherever. But the transparency, because what we always run into is, well, I didn't know, mom needed that, right? Well, here it is. I asked you,
Why didn't you tell me? I'm right. I'm a block away.
exactly right.
Yeah.
But here, you're part of it. You can see it, and it just creates that transparency. So
I love that.
we've been finding it, really helpful, just tracking our daughters. Our parents are passed, but just our daughters' activities, and kind of saying, yeah, are you there yet? And just, we really hope it helps folks, because we're very
Yeah.
excited.
I mean,
Make a
parents
lot
are
of people-
caregivers, right? Parents are the very first caregivers. So
Right.
this is for any caregiver. You
Anybody,
can,
doesn't matter.
and the usability of this, and that's why I love the name. Watch Our Own. We need to watch each other. We need to have that transparency. We need to know if you're in danger. We live in very difficult times, and it's not just for a senior at home. It's for your kids. It's for especially with someone with dementia, if they're wandering off, and you can keep track. That was my biggest worry. So yeah, is mom going to wander off? And so that would have taken a lot of stress off my shoulders and a lot of worry off of my organs, because that's where it all settles, right in your organs, and then you're unhealthy. And so what a wonderful, wonderful app that you put out there. And the fact that you're offering it to caregivers for free, you guys go to watchourown.com, download the app, get the app, and try it today. It's not going to cost you anything. And it was developed by two amazing caregivers, Giancarlo and Sherry. Do you have any last thoughts?
Just remember, the data is your own. We don't share it. So whatever you put in there is between you and your connections. That's
it.
how we're HIPAA compliant. We're living to that. But anything that you see in the application, we're getting a ton of feedback. We're making changes right now like crazy. Every week we're doing a rollout. Anything you see, they go, this is confused. So I just got great information from somebody that we're making a UX change. We need that info to make this
Let them know.
cool as possible for you.
That's what I was just going to say.
Let them know, you guys. Let them know when you get the app. And if you have any comments or complaints, they want to hear them all. And spoken like a true person who's been in enforcement. It's like, I was a cop, doggone it. No one's getting your information. Well, it has been such a pleasure getting to know both of you, and for sharing your app. Thank you so much. And thanks for coming on the show today. Really appreciate what you're doing for caregivers and sharing this app as well. So you guys watch ourown.com, check it out. And thank you again. Aloha to you both.
You're unique. It's been totally all process. This is the most fun we've had in a long time.
I know.
This is great. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have to keep you updated. We'll have you on again to bring us some updates as it moves along. Okay. Great. Aloha.
Aloha.
Two amazing people that really have put their heart into such a wonderful app. And gosh, you guys, it's a free app. How cool is that? So download it, try it. Let us know. Let them know. Your comments are going to be really appreciated. It's vital. It's just a vital thing for every caregiver. You should have it on your phone. How many apps do we download? How many games do you have on your phone? You guys, come on, admit it. How many versions of one game do you have? The next level, the next level, the next level, delete a couple of those and put on an app that's really going to help you with your caregiving. And if we can release some of that stress and worry in our lives, if we can involve a better group of people, then life just got that much better, right? All right. And so I want to talk really quick. That's what's coming up. So all of you know, I've been talking about this. Our Hawaii Caregivers Expo is coming up this Saturday. I'm so excited. It's this Saturday. We've got over 40 resource partners. Care for Kupuna is going to be our MC. We've got live music from Kupuna Power, and the tech savvy teens will be there. So speaking of tech, the tech savvy teens are amazing. They're going to be there offering free tech advice. So haul in your CPUs, haul in your laptop that you can't get working, bring your phone, any device, your Kindle, your or iPad, whatever, they will help you with it. And they do that absolutely free of charge. And so come on by, get that help, get that tech help that you need. And also we'll be there's some great presentations. We've got Annette Cam, who wrote the book, Wait, Don't Die Yet. She's going to be making a presentation about some of the things you need before you pass. What about your plan? And so that's kind of the thing that you want, right? I don't know about you, but my father's passing was totally unexpected. And that's the first thing I would have said was, wait, don't die yet. I don't know everything I need to know. And so her book is really amazing. I love the title, and she's an amazing person. She's going to be giving a presentation. We have First Foundation Bank is going to be making Lori Lay is going to be there substituting for Imari. And so Lori Lay will be talking to us about frauds and scams that are out there. So once you got your phone working there with the tech savvy teens, come and watch how to now get scammed on, not to get scammed on it. So it's going to be a great expo, a lot of great information. Woodward Mall, 10 to 2 this Saturday. Don't miss it. Come on down, say hello. And of course, you could enter to win a free viral neck massager. Yeah, that's that neck massager. Ooh, you put it on your shoulders and life just melts away. So you could win that as well. All right. So come on down, come and see us and check it out. Now, speaking of the expo, my next guest today will be there as well. She's my travel buddy from the National Caregiving Summit that we go to in DC every year. And she's the president and owner of Hale Hau'ole. Welcome, please, Kathy Wyatt. Aloha, Kathy.
Hey.
Hi, I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you
so
for
much for coming on. Now, I wanted to bring you on because I wanted to talk about your new location.
I do too.
I know.
First,
All right, I'll be in the back. You just go ahead and take over.
I do have to make one comment though. I'm from the South, and we talk a lot slower than that guy than John Carlos. I was trying hard to keep up with him, but he was so cute.
Yeah, Carlo's Italian. You guys just put it in slow-mo when you listen to him.
Exactly. Well, since COVID hit, we lost all of our adult daycare centers in the Kaneohe area. So 2 years ago, I started looking for a location that I could establish one. And I finally was able to find one. We renovated and we opened August 1st of last year in the Windward City Shopping Center. We're back in the back by Genki Sushi and those in the very back. But we are the only adult day service in the area until you get out to Kailua. But we're up and running and have had a lot of interest from the community, and it's very exciting for me to be able to have this service for Kupuna up there because they were without for over 2 years. So
yeah. And it's a large community, and it's a community on the turn. You would think there would be more daycare facilities. Honest to goodness, they're just. I'm so glad you're out there. In fact, I was just saying earlier that last night I was talking to one of our caregivers in our session who actually has their mom at your facility in Kaneohe. Yes, and loves it. And mom's getting a little bit of adjustment, but has now gone about 3 times. And, so it's so convenient. It's so being able to have that is a big thing. Not everyone's in town, and a lot of the centers are in town, but you also have a location in Aiea too, right? In Aiea?
Two locations in Aiea, yeah. I would say that there used to be adult day centers in Kaneohe area, but they both closed when COVID hit and did not reopen.
Yeah, and it's hard because being able to have that time for a caregiver when they're in daycare is such a great respite. It's a break for a caregiver to be able to have that time, but it's also really good for the person that is going to the daycare center because I love your centers. It's not just going there and stringing macaroni. I mean, you guys have movies and loungers and, those recliners and you do all kinds of wonderful things. I think you even offer bathing, don't you?
Yes, we do showers.
Yeah.
We do, morning exercises. We do trivia. We do what is it? I can't remember the word. We do a lot of mind stimulating games.
You can't remember the word. We do mind stimulating.
I probably should do those, some more of
I think
those.
you and I need to check into your daycare center.
Yeah. We do a lot of physical games like beanbag, the cornhole thing, and then we do we bat balloons around with noodles. That is more fun, and it gets really loud because everybody's having such a good time. But we stay active all day long. There is a rest period where they can go to the recliners and watch Hallmark movies or whatever after lunch for a little while and get a rest or take a nap, whatever they want to do. And then we go start over again. We have afternoon exercises and more activities, arts and crafts or whatever.
That's exciting. I think that's so fun. And I will have no problem going to a daycare center when my time comes. And I definitely want to go to one of yours.
But I want to be in charge.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll walk around and act like we're in charge at that point. But yeah, well, thank you for that. And I just wanted everyone to be updated and know that if you're in the Kaneohe area, contact Hale Hau'ole, and you just go to halehauolehawaii.org and you can fill out a contact request. And they are absolutely great about getting back to you and know that you're in really good hands. Kathy has a long career of care and you've even done classes to teach and train nurses. So you know what it's like to take care of people, and you're a caregiver yourself, and to be able to have heart in what you do. So I highly recommend you contact them. And if you have to look at daycare as an option right now, by all means, Hale Hau'ole Hawaii should be first on your list.
I've also taught caregivers how to deal with dementia and how to do care for them also. So
yeah, and you've done a couple of presentations as well. I know you've done those, and I try to keep abreast of whenever you've done them. And I've even done a presentation at one of them for you. But you bring in really great people to present to caregivers so that they get some education, learn, know what's out there. And you and I are also on the board of the Hawaii Family Caregiver Coalition. And being on that board, we get involved in advocacy. And, of course, we advocate for caregivers in every way we can. And I know that there's currently a lot going on with that. Maybe since I have you here, we can kind of talk about that. Was there anything else you wanted to share about Hale Hau'ole before we move on to that?
Just that, yes, it's a wonderful thing for the person that's dealing with dementia or needs extra assistance or supervision during the day. It keeps them from declining, by just sitting in front of the television. But the other thing is, it's excellent for caregivers. These caregivers need the respite away from their caregiving duties. And I wanted to offer. I'll offer you anybody that mentions that you saw me on this show 1 day of free respite. Just bring your loved one by and let them give you a break.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Kathy, that is amazing.
You have to tell me you saw me on this show.
Wow. All right, you guys hear that, caregivers? If you need a day of break, Kathy is more than happy to offer that to you at one of her centers. Just call them up, just get online, fill out the form, contact them, and type in, I heard you offer me a day of respite. I heard it on the Caring Caregiver Show, and just let her know that. And wow, that is an amazing, that's priceless for a caregiver, right? And This is why I tell you, this is somebody who I just absolutely love because of your heart. And that is such a kind offer. So boy, I'm kind of blown away. Thank you. That is amazing. Sure. That is amazing. And in our quest to help caregivers, I'm going to go back to this because I want to talk about some of the bills that are out there and ways that we're trying to help caregivers in other ways, respites that give them a fish, but we're trying to teach to fish too, right? Yeah. So let's talk about some of those.
Well, there's one out there that's it's about caregiver tax credit, and it would give up to $5,000 a year tax credit for people that can. There's some guidelines, and you have to follow the guidelines and qualify for it. but that's still on the works, I believe. I'm trying to look up some others that are in there. There was one for paid family care
Yep.
leave, paid family leave, and I'm not sure if that's still alive or not. I'm sorry, I haven't looked at that list recently. Do you
Yeah.
know? Do you know?
I thought the last time I had heard that it might still be, but I'm not sure if it's going to advance. You know, we're in a very what's a good word? Precarious, complex, political arena right now, and trying to get funding for an invisible society. Caregivers tend to be invisible. No one really knows we exist. Is getting really rough. But it's all the more reason now to support whatever you can. Support any bill, write a letter, let your legislator know, councilmen, senators, let them know that you support and need these things. And the more information they have, the more voices they hear will help, especially in trying to get bills that work and make sense for caregivers. But don't feel bad, caregivers, because a lot of people are putting out bills that aren't making it to the floor this year. So even our bill to try and get the unemployment system to help pay caregivers didn't make it either. So that doesn't mean we stop. That means we just get more determined and that we really connect as a community to get our voices heard. So yeah, be aware of those things. And I think you can go onto our website too, the Hawaii Family Caregiver Coalition. And you can also see there's some information there, but it'll be coming out, especially in our brochure that comes out every year. Let's see, that one's coming out. Oh, when is that? Next month?
Yes, April is when we did. Yeah.
Yeah. So our April brochure will be coming out, and there'll be a lot of good information in there as well, and ways that you can connect and support the bills that are out. Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to add also, you have your wonderful caregiver support group virtual on Tuesday. I have one the first Monday of every month that is virtual as well. And I have folks from all the islands come, join in on that one. So if you need more than one caregiver support group, get a hold of me and I'll give you the information on that too.
Yeah, excuse me, just go to hauolehawaii.org, and again, you can fill out that information form right on their website, or contact us. I have the information for her session for her support group as well. In fact, I have information I can get to all of you that lists all of the support groups currently here in Hawaii. But Kathy's and ours are on there, and find one that's right for you. The important thing is find it and connect. And also don't worry about, I'm already going to one. Go to as many as you can.
Yeah.
If you can, go to as many sessions as you can, because they're all very different and they're all going to offer you something that you need, and you need all the support you can get. That's like saying, well, I already have one friend. You need a whole bunch of friends when you're caregiving.
Yeah.
Yep. So go to as many different sessions, as many different groups as you can, and get all that support that you can, because caregivers, we know you need it. Oh, good. Thanks for coming on today. Was there anything else you wanted to leave us with?
Just please stop by my table on Saturday at the expo, and we're glad to give you some more information.
Absolutely. And there's a great thing. Let's just talk about that again, because the expo is this Saturday, and not only will you get to see Kathy, but there's over 40 different, and all of these resources are there because they help caregivers. So this isn't like a senior fair. This isn't, a bridal fair. This isn't even just for parents and kids. This is for any caregiver, and every resource is there to help a caregiver. And so go and say hi to Kathy. You can meet her, and you can find out all about her centers and all about that respite that you need as well. So thank you so much for that, Kathy. And thanks for sharing your time with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Aloha.
Aloha.
All right. Wow. See, that's awesome. I'm so excited about that. And I'm so excited about the expo. Again, it's this Saturday. Don't miss out at Windward Mall. And yes, Giancarlo, I saw your comment that you talked very fast and you went and moved to Tennessee. So here you are in the South talking like you're from Italy, and you're going at 80 miles an hour. But you know what? I understood you. So that's all that matters. Don't worry. I'll play it back in slow-mo for everybody to hear everything you said. We'll just have you on again. Don't worry. Oh, I'm so excited about that. I want to thank you both. I want to thank Giancarlo and Sherry. Thank you so much for coming on, and Kathy for sharing with us today. And I want to remind you that the Caring Caregiver Show is brought to you by Give Me a Break and sponsored by Givers Guides online magazine. So please get those subscriptions and keep it all coming. All of that profit is donated to Give Me a Break to help us do what we do and to help pay for this show. The Caring Caregiver Show is really all about connecting caregivers to resources and community, with your wellness and survival as the goal. So next week we close out season 14. Super excited about my guest that's going to close us out, and also about my co-host. So my co-host is our CFO, Christy Pickrell. She'll be here with me, and we're bringing on a guest, Wendy Whiteman, who has her own podcast, but she's also an elder law attorney. So I'm really excited because I know you've all had a lot of questions about what to do. What am I going to do with the house? What do I do with, what if I have to get Medicaid? How do I qualify for that? And what about my trust? And, what a medical directive? What's a post? So I don't know if we'll answer all those questions, but she is an elder law attorney, and she's a wonderful, wonderful, kind soul. And I know that you'll be able to get some of the answers that you need, but also you'll get a connection to just one more person to add to your community, more friends, right? It's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing show. And you really don't want to miss any of our shows anyway. So please go to your phones right now. If you have it in your hand, you should, because you had to have downloaded the app, Watch Our Own. And if you're downloading the app is done, then please go to your calendar and make sure to put in an every Wednesday. Repeat? Yes, every Wednesday at 12 noon Hawaii Standard Time to see the Caring Caregiver Show. And don't worry if you miss us live, it's okay. You'll be able to watch us on all of the 7 platforms that we stream on. You'll be able to go back and watch this show anytime, and you can slow it down to hear what Giancarlo had to say. And of course, you can listen to us about a week after each show on podcast, either Stitcher, Apple, Google, any of those. Spotify, we're on every platform. Just put in caringcaregivershow.com. All right. So remember, the bottom line is stay connected. Don't isolate. You don't need to carry this burden alone. You have a whole community of caregivers right here with you. And just go ahead and check it all out. Go to our website, gab808.org. But in the meantime, remember, breathe. I don't even know if you took that deep breath, not even once today. Do it one more time, just for me. If you're watching, take a deep breath right now. There you go. And remember, we're here for you, helping you to find more joy in your caregiving each week, right here on the Caring Caregiver Show. Thanks for tuning in, and please always be kind to yourself, and especially to those who are caring. Aloha.